Next important part in the this data analysis method is the how we can assign the certain scientific method to a experiment, and actually how can we design the experiment for the required purposes. Okay, so all of these experiment that we are studying in the labs are developed by certain scientists. Okay, so all of these experiments were performed rigorously we using the various methods. Okay, and that methods are analyzed, and out of that various methods, whichever the method which is giving better result and uh, better results as well as less hazardous to the environment, so that methods has been accepted throughout the this experiment. So whichever the experiment that has been designed so far is not like one single procedure is possible for that experiment. There are the lots of procedure that we can follow for the given experiment, but out of that procedure only that procedure is selected widely, which gives you the better result with least hazard to the environment. Okay, so first of all we need to like understand why it is necessary to like design the scientific methods. Okay, so scientific method is what? First of all, that the scientific method is nothing but the process by which scientists try to construct a accurate representation of the world. Okay, so anything that will be giving you the accurate representation of the our things is nothing but the method. Okay, so it is a process. Okay, so for the generation of a scientific method, it is a like a lengthy process, quite a lengthy process. So it has constitute of the 6 steps. So what are that steps? So basically there are total 6 steps. So first step is the, first of all we should ask the question. Okay, so we should ask the question. So suppose I am taking like example of say normal water analysis. Okay, so water analysis of our say normal village regions. So water analysis of the village regions. So normally the water which is available in the villages is used for what? Drinking purpose and for farming purpose. Okay, so we need to like classify the water on the basis of its quality, whether it is useful for the drinking purpose or whether it is useful for the farming purpose, because in the village region we are not using this water for the industrial purpose. Okay, and if we are using the water for the drinking purpose, does it contain the necessary minerals, or the does it contain the extra hazardous metals or the heavy metals or certain like microorganisms? So all of these things we should know before like we actually use that water. So the first question that arises is why we need to like study the water samples. Okay, so basic first question is that why we need to study the water sample. So before designing any research proposal or research article, the first question that comes into your mind is why we should do that. Okay, why we should do that procedure. So there should be some outcome from that particular research or that particular experiment. Then only we can be get the feasible or the benefit of that particular experiment. So first thing is that you should ask the question what is the importance and why we are actually doing that experiment. Okay, so that is the first thing. So next second thing is the research. Okay, so once we have got to the problem that why like we are going to analyze the water sample. Okay, water sample is our area of research. Okay, area of interest or the research. So water sample analysis is our area of research. So first of all we need to like have the detailed background of the research. Okay, so for water sample analysis, what parameters that we are going to analyze, then which procedure we should use and which procedure has been already used for that particular water sample analysis, and out of the various process which process should give the better result for the given climate conditions, and the geographical region of the given village will also constitute the selection of a procedure. Okay, So for this purpose, the background research plays an important role. Okay, so once we have got to the research problem, we should also have the background of that particular research problem. That means previously some research which has been carried out on the same topic, we use that same research, and we check whether that research is applicable to our problem or not. Okay, so that means what, we need to figure out what specifically you want to test, and what are the like important parameters or the variables that we are going to analyze. Okay, so based upon that, we can get to the conclusion like, okay, so once we have got to the research background, then we can say that suppose my water is containing like uh, small amount of minerals and some metals, like some small heavy metals, and like it is good for drinking purpose. Okay, so I can say that the water is like good for drinking purpose. Okay, good for drinking purpose. This is my what, hypothesis. Means before the experiment, means actually before I am doing the experiment, I have predicted that this water might be useful for the drinking purpose. Okay, this water might be useful for the drinking purpose. So before doing the experiment, if we are predicting certain things, then we can say that it is a hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis. So it is a predictable things, like we have already predicted that it might happen. Okay, sometimes this hypothesis may be correct or may be wrong. Okay, so first thing that you should know is the, you should predict the hypothesis of the result. Okay, so formulate the hypothesis so as to explain the certain phenomena. Okay, so it is used to the like for the existing observation as well as for the new results also can be obtained. Okay, so what means, suppose if our water sample is having certain pH value, say around say 6.7. Okay, so this is the like expected pH region for the given geographical region as well as the climate conditions. Okay, so based upon the various previously done studies, we come to the conclusion that 6.7 is the average pH of the waters. Okay, so if my water sample is also belongs to the certain region which is having the same geographical and climate conditions, then I can also expect that the water in this same village should have the pH range of around 6.7. Okay, so this is my one hypothesis or the expectation, and some new results might have been also been obtained. Okay, so what are that new results? So I am expecting the pH of around say 6.7, but suppose due to the certain like pollution or some in like including of the other parameters which might affect the pH of the solution, and I am getting certain other results, so that I can also predict in the hypothesis. Suppose that due to the some pollution in the given village, I might get the higher concentration of say acid. So due to that acids, the results are like quite low. Okay, quite low in the sense the pH will be low due to the acidic conditions of the soil or some other parameters. So I can predict that result also under the hypothesis of hypothesis. So once we have constructed the hypothesis, then we need to like test our hypothesis by using the experiment. Okay, so once we have got to the hypothesis or the expecting the certain result, then we have to make the experiment. So for experiment, what is the important? First of all, we need to have the certain experimental design or the experimental procedure, and that experimental procedure which is being already known to us, or we need to like use the various experimental procedure which are available with us and try to figure out the most suitable procedure which will give you the better result for the given samples. Okay, so suppose that for my water sample analysis, I might having the like various procedure for the same type of method. So means suppose I want to determine the pH of a solution. So for determining the pH, I can simply use the pH meter. Okay, But suppose if one person is doing the measuring the pH at say at particular temperature or some at hot condition or some cool condition, okay, so that all things should be incorporated into your experimental design, and we should get to the point that whichever the method which is giving better result should be adopted for the further analysis. Okay, now second thing is that it has led to the either confirmation of the hypothesis or ruling out the hypothesis. Okay, so once we have got to the certain experimental procedure, so either we can say that the given hypothesis is true or wrong. Okay, so suppose my if I am doing the procedure and I get the pH of a water sample say around 5, okay, 5.00 or say 8.17, okay, so I am getting the pH of around 8.17. So does it make any sense for the expected pH? No, because we have know that potable water or the drinkable water is having the pH of around say 7. So you should get the pH of around 7. But if we are getting the pH of this much range, so we should reject the hypothesis, and we are we need to develop the another hypothesis which will gives you the pH range of this much, okay, this much pH values. So we need to redesign our hypothesis if the experiment result shows the some different results. Okay, so once we have designed the experiment and obtained the result which are correlated with the hypothesis, then we need to analyze the data and draw certain conclusion for the obtained data. Okay, so this procedure is only happen when we have got to the conclusion, we have got to the result close to that of the hypothesis. So once we have got to that particular result, we need to analyze the data and draw the certain conclusion. So how we can do that? So for the doing the conclusion, the data can be presented in the graphical or the mini reports or the mini posters or the PowerPoint presentations. Okay, so in order to present the data, we might use the various presentation things poster or PowerPoint presentation, or some graphical methods also can be used. So once we have got to the details of our data and analysis, so we made the conclusion by comparing all the results with the all the samples, and we will uh, draw the conclusion, and based upon that we will report our results to the particular a journal or say some poster presentation or some conference of. So we might report our result into the poster presentation or some presentation at a certain national or international level conferences, and we might submit our results to the established journals. So what are that 6 steps? In general, we can say that first step is the you should ask the question to the particular problem. Then we should have the background data and the what actually we are going to do in the given experiment. So that all these things should be done in the research. Okay, so literature review means research. Now next is the construct a hypothesis or construct a expected result, okay, based upon the various procedure that we are going to follow. Now next is the test your hypothesis by doing an experiment, and next is the analyze the data and draw a conclusion. Last thing is the report your results on the uh, journal or some poster presentation. Okay, so these are the 6 steps that we use for the method development. Okay, method development.